That ball camera 1.
Quick slant out. And another incomplete pass intended there to Jake Kenner.
Yeah, if you're the Eagles, you have to get up on this defensive play and force the quarterback to make an error.
Excellent. Get the ball in. Nicely done. 3-3. Go to 3.
By Bell. Bell breaks 2 tackles.
It's all you 3.
Bell's
Nicely
out.
done.
Oh, he should have stayed
Stay
on.
there. And keep balling them back 3.
Hello and welcome to Niswonger Field in Germantown, Ohio for tonight's MVCC Game of the Week for week number 4, presented by Kettering Health. It's a Southwest Buckeye League showdown as the 1-2 Valley View Spartans are set to host the 2-1 Oakwood Lumberjacks. Jared Bergstrom alongside Andy Horton for tonight's call. Andy, real quick, as Oakwood has won the toss and I think deferred to the second half, what does Oakwood have to do offensively to try and go to 3-1 on the year?
Jared, offensively, I think the Lumberjacks are going to have to do a better job at hanging on to the football. Their first 2 weeks of the season, they turned the ball over 7 times. Last week, they were able to clean that up, turned it over none, and they were able to get a big win last week. But they're going to have to be better on offense, not turn the ball over. And then they're going to have to convert on third down. They really have not done a good job doing that so far this season, only 13 of 37. So, they're definitely going to have to do a much better job there. Defensively, Jared, I think that the Lumberjacks are going to have to watch Caden Henson. He's a very good quarterback. He's mobile, and he also leads the league in passing yards. So you got to watch out for him. And you also have to double team TJ Ferguson, or JT Ferguson, I'm sorry. He's a great wide receiver. He has 271 yards already this season in only 3 games. So you definitely have to pay attention to him, Jared.
All right, Valley View has the ball first. They'll be wearing the Army National Guard colors. We'll switch over to the Valley View keys of the game and head coach real quick. They are coached by Ken Moyer. This is his first season with the Spartans. He was the former Dayton Christian head coach, but he was the Bengals offensive lineman from 1989 to 1994. Offensively, they need to protect Henson. This offensive line has given up some sacks this year. As Henson's first handoff goes the outside, that looks like number 12, Jake Clark, for about a gain of 2. Back to keys to the game real quick. Offensively, keep third down manageable. 15 of 39 on the year is not the way you want to. It is how you have drives end if you're a Spartan. Defensively, you got to spy on the quarterback. Oakwood has 2 guys that they can run out there if they want, and then force turnovers. Oakwood has 7 already, so they're definitely turning the ball over some on the offensive end, so Valley View has got to capitalize when they do. We'll be back to live football. Henson back to pass. It is hauled in at about the 45 is where forward progress will be marked.
That was number 3, Austin Stidham there on the grab. Nice little pickup.
Tackled by Mikey Duvik for the Lumberjacks. It'll be third and about 5 here at the 45. Henson rolls to the left. Going to cut it back upfield. Almost. Oh, he does get out of the 1 sack, but he's going to be sacked in the backfield for about a loss of 4.
Charlie Armitage, one of the Lumberjacks, in on the tackle. And like you said, Henson did a pretty good job trying to keep that play alive, but there was just too many Lumberjacks in the backfield. There's nowhere for him to go.
Keon Wright will be back to return the punt. Punt is off. Oakwood almost gets home to block it. Hauled in by number 13, Ben Maria. He has a tackle to the outside, and he is out across the 40. Tackled at about the 41. That was tackled by number 58, Tyler Brock. So now we're going to get to see Oakwood, their first trip on the offensive end. It'll be interesting to see which quarterback they send out here first. It'll either be number 3, Steven Louderback, or number 4, Adam Polacco.
Jared, like you said, very interesting to see who they're going to send out because Polacco has been very effective so far this season. He's been efficient, not turned the ball over too many times, and it looks like that's who we're going to get here on the first play of the game.
Polacco in shotgun formation. Turns around, hands it off for a big run on first down, about a gain of 7, but the ball's out.
Out at the end. It's going to be recovered by the Lumberjacks, number 76, it looks like, Nate Myers. That could have been a disaster here early for the Lumberjacks.
It was a gain of 6 on the play. Number 12, Nate Clark with the carry and the cough up. There's another fumble, but they were lucky to get that one back.
Able to get back on top of that one.
Polacco
number 8 of the season.
Throws it out to the outside and almost intercepted, but it was tipped.
We're going to call that number 23.
Owen Malara. We apologize if we butcher any of these names. And the numbers are going to be hard to see tonight because of the...
They're wearing camo,
They're wearing camo.
You can't see nothing.
So 3rd and 4 here for Oakwood at the 46-yard line. Polacco in shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the top. Polacco
sending pressure.
Polacco is going to be dropped in the backfield by at least 3 or 4 Spartans, but I think number 66, maybe 67 actually, Connor Sargent was the first one there for Valley View, and both teams quickly go 3 and out to start their both opening drives.
But it looks as though the Lumberjack offense is going to stay out on the field with it. It's an interesting call, Jared.
Well,
2 wide receivers to the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom, and then it looks like there was a false start. I don't know.
Valley View's going to call a timeout. With that, I mean, the way Polacco backed up, it almost looked like he was going to drop back and just kick it. The play clock was down to about 15, so I don't see why the Spartans would take a timeout there. 8.5 minutes left here in the first half, and already down a timeout on a head-scratching play. But, I mean, Valley View had their punt formation out there with Ferguson back to return.
Yeah, it looked like they were not ready for them to go for it. They wanted to get the right defense out on the field.
Now you're going to see Oakwood back out, and they're going to have the punt formation out there. They're going to punt it away. Ferguson will field it at about the 15, and he backs up inside the 15 and is tackled at about the 17-yard line.
There's number 12 on the return, Nate Clark.
See here in the Kettering Health replay, only about a net gain of 3 on the return.
Good job by the coverage team. Get down there and not allow much of a return there.
Henson in shotgun. Hands it off in the backfield, cuts it out. Clark gets to the outside. He's at the 20, cuts it upfield at the 25 and pushed out of bounds at about the 31. That was, number 12, Jake Clark with the carry there. A Valley View first down.
JT Ferguson in on the tackle.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 30, they'll say.
Like that Jimmy Sullenberger.
The refs looked like they wanted to restart the clock. There they did. Henson, quick wide receiver screen out to Clark, it looks like again. Clark makes two people miss and is pushed out of bounds at about the 37. Or actually, that was Ferguson. Clark with the block.
And Ferguson, that's his 17th reception of this early season, Jared. He's been doing some good work early for the Spartans.
See Henson. I think Valley View's going to stay in shotgun formation most of the night. Henson's going to roll to the right, pitches it to the backfield to Clark. Clark will have a first down and dives over number 13, Ben Maria, for about another gain of 2 on that, and another first down run for the Spartans, and they are moving on this drive.
The Spartans starting to get things going. Got a couple of good run plays, got a good little screen play, and then you got a quarterback. He got a option there, and he pitches it out to his running back, able to pick up a first down.
Henson rolls to the right now, looking deep downfield, throws it in, and it's in and out of the hands, might even hit the ground. Intended to Clark.
You know, Jared, you talked about earlier with the keys to the game that the Spartans were going to have to do a better job protecting Henson. And, you know, here early in this game, we've seen him be on the run here in a lot of their early offensive sets in his throws and whatnot. So they're keeping him moving, trying to make it so it's harder for the defensive line to hone in on him.
Henson back to pass, hands off to Clark. Clark cuts it back out and is tripped up.
The nice
tackle will go there. I think that's 52, Cade Zonin.
The nice jump cut there by Clark, but not able to stay on his feet.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line. We approach 6.5 minutes left here in the game, in the first quarter. Play clock's down to 13. Henson claps, gets it back. Henson throws the man for a wide receiver screen. Clark hits off the initial defender, but is tackled down. I believe that was zoning again for the Lumberjacks.
Clark has gotten a lot of early usage here, Jared. That's probably his 7th or 8th touch here.
Under 6 minutes left here now to go in the first quarter. But I would have liked to see the blockers develop more down the field on that running back screen. But I think Henson just wanted to get rid of it too quick.
Yeah, I mean, the rush was coming hard that time, Jared, so he was trying not to get hit.
A high end-over-end kick, and it bounces, and Maria gets out of the way. Inside the 10, though, so Oakwood, or Valley View pins Oakwood deep.
That was a good punt there.
Good punt there for... I don't have a... Oh, that was probably number 6, Camden Phillips. So now Oakwood will start their second drive. Polacco in the backfield. Man in motion. Polacco hands it off to Wright. Wright cuts it back out. And Wright might get to the line of scrimmage. He might actually be about a loss of 1 on the play, I think.
And that was the explosive Keon Wright. A transfer from Bearmont. We've watched him grow over the years, Jared. He's a very good athlete, multiple sports star. And he's been pretty good here in the early season for the Lumberjacks. Under 5 here remaining in the first quarter.
Polacco back to pass. Polacco's going to air it out, throws to the far sideline, hauled in by number 5, Kevin Smith, along the sideline. And that'll be enough for a first down.
And Kevin Smith, he's been good here in the early season for Oakwood, Jared. That's his 7th catch of the season. He has 2 touchdowns, so he's been one of their go-to guys when they get in the red zone.
You see Polacco changing something at the line of scrimmage. Polacco with 2 running backs behind him. Polacco's going to fake the handoff, gives it to Wright. Wright cuts it to the outside and is brought down in the backfield for about a loss of 3.
That was number 10, Gavin DeGroat. Was able to get in the backfield early on the play, and there was nowhere for Keon Wright to go.
You see substitutions. You're going to see 13, Ben Maria, run off the field very late. For number 5, Kevin Smith. It's 2nd and 13 at the 18.
The Spartan crowd getting loud, trying to cause some disruptions.
Polacco back to pass, hit as he throws, and that one's tipped away.
That one was deflected
By number 99. I do not have a 99 on my Valley View roster, so.
But the pressure got there quickly, and Polacco was not able to make a good throw, not able to make a throw that he wanted.
That might have been 51 Matthew Cotterman. He's wearing 51 on the side of his helmet. So it's going to be 3rd and 13 at the 18. Play clock is down to 10. Polacco alone in the backfield.
Lumberjacks have struggled here all season.
Screen pass to Wright. Wright, no blocking out in front. I think he actually dropped it.
And the pressure is just really getting to the Lumberjack offense right now, Jared. They have not been able to get anything going. And that was yet another 3rd down this season they have not been able to capitalize on.
And yeah, Wright just dropped it. Clark's back deep here to return this one for Valley View as they'll get ready to start their 3rd possession. Low snap. Polacco gets it off, and Ferguson will field that one. He cuts it back in, spun down, still on his feet.
As it's going to take 3 Lumberjacks to bring him down.
Looked like number 56, Dylan Barth, was there immediately for the Lumberjacks.
I must say, Jared, I'm impressed by Polacco. He started off the season as a running back, and then he had to move to quarterback after the injury to their starter, and he's also a punter. The guy does a little bit of everything.
Now Valley View's going to start their 3rd drive here in the 1st quarter. A lot of back and forth, but no points yet, and neither really team has been able to get past midfield. Henson back to pass. Fakes a shutter step. He's going to throw it deep to the outside. Hauled in by Clark along that. Inside the numbers.
Jared, that was a beautiful throw. Stidham with another big catch. That's his 9th catch of the 8th catch of the season, Jared. That was a beautiful throw. It's a great pump fake to fool the safety and to get him to bite, and then he has a wide open man downfield. Incredibly athletic catch there by Stidham.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 7. Valley View going to spread them out. 3 to the top of your screen. Henson hands it off to Clark. Clark's at the
He's got
the edge, and he dives in, and he will not get in. Far referee says he's pushed out of bounds at about the 1, inside the 1 probably.
Stop there by Charlie Armitage. 2nd goal.
It'll be 2nd and goal from inside the 1 here for Valley View, looking to cash in on their 3rd offensive possession.
Charlie Armitage was the Lumberjack there who was able to make the stop.
You look, Valley View is going to go with a strong eye here. Hand off to Clark. Clark into the end zone. And Valley View finds pay dirt first with 2:05 left in the first quarter on a 1-yard run by Jake Clark.
And you know, Jared, of course, the announcer's jinx, right after you say it, they're not able to get past the midfield mark. They get right past midfield in about under a minute. They did that so quickly. What an impressive drive by the Spartans.
And Valley View, the way they're lined up, they're going for two. Henson throws it wide open in the end zone, and it's a 2-point play there for, I believe that's number 2, Austin Stidham, or no, sorry, JT Ferguson at the top of the roster. So Stidham with a 2-point conversion, and Valley View up 8-0 here. 2:05 left in the first quarter of our MVCC game of the week for week number 4.
And Jared, doing the notes for this game coming in, it really looked like it was Stidham, Smith, and Clark were really the guys on offense that you had to watch for the Spartans, and that's been exactly what we've seen here in the first quarter. Those are really the only 3 guys they're giving it to, but they were successful here on this drive.
Now Oakwood looks to get the ball here to start their third possession. You're going to have Keon Wright and number 17, Max Parker, back deep to return this one for the Lumberjacks. You're going to have number 6, Cade Phillips, kicking off here for the Spartans. Phillips gets a hold of this one, trailing to the sideline, fielded at about the 17. Parker running backwards and tackled inside the 15. Maybe back to about the 12. Let's see where the refs will spot this one.
Parker was looking for room back. Absolutely nothing there.
It almost looked like they wanted to set up a pitch to right there, but never did. Now, they'll say forward progress stopped at the 15. Now Polanco coming back out for this third offensive possession for the Lumberjacks, trailing 8-0 with just under 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Polanco empty set in the backfield. Escapes the sack. Gets across scrimmage for about a gain of 2 on the play.
Adam Polanco keeps the ball. And going to be back on number 56, Zach Myers. Gain of 3. Second and 7.
They say it's a gain of 3 on the play for the Lumberjacks. Now Polanco drawing up lines at the line of scrimmage again. Valley View looks like they're going to bring some pressure. Polanco back to pass, throws it in the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. And Oakwood sideline wants a pass interference call. It looked like number 6, Charlie Bocavalis, was being tackled as the ball got there. 1:07 left, 3rd and 7 at the 17 for the Lumberjacks. You feel Valley View sideline start to shake the bleachers. 3rd down. Polanco empty set in the backfield once again, and Wright is going to be called for a false start as he jumped way early for the Lumberjacks, and that's going to back him up 5 more yards.
That is not something we're used to seeing, Jared, out of such an experienced, talented player like Keon Wright.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 12 here for the It's going to be inside the 15 now, back to about the 12. Polacco with an empty set. Polacco back to pass. Immediate rush by the Spartans. Polacco gets out of it, and he just runs for about a gain of 4 or 5 on the play, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
You know, Jared, that almost looked like it was a design QB keeper because the offensive line didn't block at all. Like, the entire defensive line just got right by him. Polacco was able to make all of them miss, but then there just wasn't enough help for him downfield to be able to make any more room.
Glasgow in the front. Jake Clark.
That one is definitely a head scratcher. I mean, just giving up on that play with a designed quarterback run. Polacco boots this one. Fielded. Well, they're not going to field it. It's going to roll out of bounds on the far sideline. Inside the 40, maybe about the 37 is where they'll mark this. So Valley View coming back out onto the field after that last possession, scoring a touchdown in only 5 plays with 26 seconds left here in the first quarter. Valley View is looking to go up double digits on this possession.
Yeah, and Jared, thinking back to the touchdown on last possession, I'm just trying to think, which catch was better? That one or the one in Miamisburg a week ago? 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Clark is going to get the carry here right over the center for about a gain of 2 on the play. And Valley View will not hike it again. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Valley View leading 8-0 over the visiting Oakwood Lumberjacks. So what does Oakwood have to do here defensively to try to get a stop, as Valley View's offensive line has started opening up holes for their offense?
You know, Jared, they're just going to have to be better in just about every way. Cade Zonin, he's been great so far this season for the Lumberjacks. He really hasn't been very active. He has 42 tackles for them this season. He's going to have to be better on defense. Along with Max Parker, he's another one of their very good defenders. 21 tackles and 2 interceptions, along with a touchdown, or with an interception return for a touchdown this season. So he's got a couple of leaders on defense that are going to have to step it up in order for the Lumberjacks to turn this thing around.
It's probably going to have to start with the front 7. I mean, they're going to have to get in the backfield and try and disrupt Clark, the running back, or this rhythm that Henson is starting to find himself in. 3 for 3 for his last 3 attempts.
Yeah, and Jared, one of the keys here to the game tonight was that Valley View was going to have to do a better job up front blocking, and they're doing just that. Like you said, they've been making very good holes for Clark, and Henson has been virtually untouched so far tonight.
There you're going to see Valley View's going to flip it and go now right to left on your screen. Clark gets a carry here, spun around, escapes one tackle, brushes off another one, and finally takes about 4 defenders to bring him down. Looked like number 12, Nate Clark, was the first one to be in that group to tackle him. But Clark, just the elusiveness right there, spun out of what 3 would-be tackles, gets out of the arm tackle there by Max Parker.
Yeah, tough running there by Clark here early, Jared. He's looked very good.
Maybe that 1-2 record is misleading for the Spartans. I mean, we looked at their schedule. Both of them are within a single possession.
Well, yeah, Jared, and, going back and doing notes for tonight's game.
Henson's going to air it out here to the far sideline, and it is incomplete. And no flag, as I'll agree with that one. Keep the flag in the pocket. That one wasn't catchable. Way over the head of what would be Ferguson.
Yeah, the entire home side of the stadium was looking for a flag there, but I agree. Ferguson had a tough job trying to track down that ball.
And what really kept the ref to keep his flag in his pocket was both of the defender and the receiver were looking over their heads to try to find the ball.
Yeah, Jared. But so yeah, when I was doing notes for this game tonight, I noticed that they've gotten behind early. They have not. The Spartans have not done a good job starting off games, and tonight they've done a much better job of that. And they've gotten themselves in some pretty big holes so far this season, and it's not happening so far tonight.
There's a nice solid run for Clark again. About a gain of 4 on the play, so it'll be 3rd and about 7. Henson back to pass. Henson throws it to the close sideline. It is hauled in by number 83. Well, let's see what the number on the helmet is, because that's obviously not matching up with their jersey. But it was 83 right there in the middle of the screen. It was actually number 32, Jedrick Lynch, with the carry there. So we're really going to be off on these numbers tonight with them not matching up with their helmet. So we're going to have to go off the helmet numbers.
Where's the pair of binoculars when you need them, Jared?
I didn't think I would have needed them. Henson back to pass. Henson rolls to the right. Henson evades 3 tackles right there, stays on his feet, and is upended inside the 30, close to the 27-yard line.
And you know, Jared, when I was looking at the stat sheet in preparation for this game, I did not think he was that elusive and that shifty.
No.
We said he was mobile, but I thought it was more of a, I'm going to scramble for 2 or 3 yards, get out of bounds. But on that play, he shows his shiftiness, his ability to get out of tackles, make defenders miss, and get upfield. Good run there by the quarterback.
First down run there for Henson and the Spartans as they are moving their way into the red zone. Henson hands it off to Ferguson on an end around. Ferguson cuts it out at the 20 and dives forward inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line. And
the blocking there by the offense was exceptional. You could see with our great camera angle on the play, there was just an alley so wide you could take a semi right through it, Jared. After a tough first series, the Spartans have been on the move ever since.
Henson with Clark behind him in the backfield. Clark gets the carry, and Clark gets hit hard in the backfield by number 52, Cade Zonin. So another captain on the defensive side of the ball.
Aaron Cunningham also there on the play.
It's going to be third down, and about 11. You can see a strong eye here now for the Spartans, and they're going to hand it to the front of the eye, and he might get to the line of scrimmage. That is number 10, Gavin DeGroat. So now they're going to say it was enough for a first down. I did not think so, by the way, the ref initially spotted it, but that's a first down run for DeGroat.
Yeah, good job by the big man to get his legs moving, not stop churning. Back in the strong eye. Stidham out to the left, to the right.
Clark runs into Henson as they look like Henson took the wrong way to the to the running back. So only about a gain of 1, maybe 2 on the play. You see right there, and Henson doesn't get out of the way in time. Tripped up there by number 52, Zonin, again for the Lumberjacks.
Play could have been much worse there for the Spartans, but
could have been a fumble, could have been a bigger tackle for loss. Henson back to pass, going to throw it to the far side, and it's incomplete in the end zone. going to be second and 10. Or no, third and 11, sorry.
Ball on the 14.
Valley View can pick up a first down without getting the touchdown here. Henson back to pass. Henson left alone in the backfield. Wide receiver screen set up. Hauled in at about the 11 for Clark. And Clark comes up slow from there. So it's going to be 4th and about 6. 4th and 5, actually, from the 10. $7:22 left here in the first half of our MVCC game of the week for week number 4. So you're going to see Phillips come out and attempt a field goal here from the 17. So it'll be about a 27-yard field goal. Kick is up, and kick is good. And Valley View adds to their lead, now 11-0 lead the Spartans with 6:58 left here in the first half. And now Oakwood has got to try and find a way to not only score points but also take time off the clock, as you do not want to give Valley View the ball back with how quickly they are moving it down the field.
Yeah, Jared, they're going to want to at least eat a good 5 minutes off the clock. If you give you give Valley View the ball back with much more time than that, you can find yourself in trouble being the Lumberjacks. But their defense really hasn't been able to stop much here in the first half. Once the Spartans were able to get that first drive kind of going, it's been full steam ahead ever since. Phillips back out to kick the ball off.
Deep, the kickoff key on right. Max Parker. Take off.
Phillips boots this one away, and this one will be fielded by Parker again. It goes back into the end zone, so he has to return it. Parker gets it to the 20, stays on his feet, fumbles the ball, but I think he got it back mid-air.
As that one was recovered by number 70, Cameron Zakharos.
Ball popped up. Oh, no, sorry. It was, you were right. Fielded by number 70 for Oakwood. Here we go. Oakwood's put the ball on the ground twice tonight, but luckily got it back.
And when we were talking about they were going to have to do a better job protecting the ball, this is not how we were talking about, Jared.
We'll see Palaco come back out on the field. And you would have to think maybe if Palaco does not get this offensive moving, what point do you go back to Louderback?
You know, that's a good question, Jared.
I mean, at least try something. Palaco airing it out on the far sideline and leads right way out of bounds.
As it looks like there might have been words at the end of the play with the wide receiver and one of the Spartans over on the sideline.
There was some words from Clark, and it doesn't look like Wright said anything, but the Clark you saw was at least saying something to him. This is where I come back to the huddle. If I'm right, throw me the ball right there again and just put it right in there in Clark's face. Like,
he's starting to get a little chippy in this rivalry game.
And Wright does play on defense too, so maybe he remembers that back of his mind next time Clark's out on the field. Palaco in the backfield. Going to go three-step drop. That one was tipped at the line of scrimmage, intended for number 13, Ben Maria. It's going to be 3rd and 10, and we were talking about Oakwood needs to try to take some time off the clock. They've taken 7 seconds off the clock on 2 plays.
That's not nearly good enough, Jared. They're going to have to convert here. They're going to give the Spartans the ball back with way too much time.
Too much time, 2 timeouts, and all momentum on the Spartan sideline. Palaco's going to roll to the right. Palaco airing it out to the far sideline, and it is sailed out of bounds again. I looked over here. We're sitting next to the Valley View coaching staff, and one of their coaches was standing up on the table jumping. That table must be made out of something more heavy duty than plywood. As Palaco's on the punt. And right now, I mean,
very quick 3 and out there on that possession, Jared.
That one took 14 seconds off the clock, and that's only because we had to wait for the ball to fall down and hit something out of bounds. And this punt goes way out of bounds.
That one lands in the stands.
That one was shanked out of bounds. Let's see where the refs mark this one out. It's going to be in plus territory for the Spartans at the 38. So only about a punt of maybe 20 yards at most. So Oakwood just coming apart here at the seams. So we want to throw a quick shout out sponsored to Kettering Health for sponsoring us this year for football. Know quite a few local teams use them as a primary physician resource or sideline training. As Henson fakes the handoff, keeps it for about a gain of 3 on the play.
He's tripped up by Cade Zonin.
I think that's the only one on Oakwood that can tackle. He's been everywhere tonight.
And like I said before the game, Jared, he had 42 tackles before this thing started.
And we've at least said his name 12 times, I think.
Yeah, it was a good job there by Henson. If Zonin was not there, man, he would have been gone. Taken down by the shoestrings. Henson back to pass. Throws this one. It's out to, I believe,
Ferguson.
that one's Stidham.
Stidham?
That one's
Okay,
Austin
yeah,
Stidham.
yeah, it is 3 Stidham. The 2 and the 3 look the same in camo.
A stop by Max Parker. 3rd and 1. Ball on the 29.
Some quick updated scores around the league from our teams we cover. Miamisburg is leading Centerville 7-3 about halfway through the second quarter. Northmont and Fairmont are tied at 7 in the second
under
quarter.
center hands it off to Clark, and Clark has a man wrapped around his ankle, tries to hop out of the tackle, but is unable to do so.
Springboro just blocked a field goal attempt from Beaver Creek, and they're leading 7-0 in the first quarter still.
But that was enough to get the first down for the Spartans. Good effort there by Clark. He's not gonna stop. Tackle there again by Zonin.
We just need to put, when it's on defense, it's going to be Valley View Spartans versus Cade Zonin. As Henson makes a couple people miss here, gets to about the 22. And I'm just going to assume Zonin was with the tackle.
It was actually Parker that time.
Oh,
But
okay,
it's been
Parker.
the 2 of them all night,
Okay.
Jared.
I don't even have to look down at the field or at the monitor, and I'm going to say that Zonin is going to get this tackle for the Lumberjacks. It's going to be 2nd and about 6. We're under 5 minutes left to go here, and Valley View driving nicely after the horrid punt by Oakwood, giving them excellent starting field position. As Clark's going to get the carry. Clark busts through 2 tackles, breaks the 3rd tackle, and inside the 20 down to about the 15, I think.
That was Nate Clark in on the stop.
That's only because Clark plowed over Zonin. He lowered the shoulder and put Zonin on his backside.
There's been some pretty impressive
Zonin slowed him up to let Clark get there.
Pretty impressive running tonight by Clark.
And he wasn't even in the top 5 for SWBL. Sorry, not G-Walk. as Stidham, or no, that's Ferguson, gets a catch to the outside.
And yeah, like you said, Jared, not in the top 5 in rushing, only 142 yards entering today's ball game. But he's been great here in the first half. Ripping off big chunk after big chunk, keeping his legs churning.
You see that hefty-sized offensive line for Valley View right there. The front 5 making these holes for Clark. Handoff here. Clark gets it, cuts it back inside, and almost breaks it, but he's going to be tackled inside or at about the 5.
There's great agility by Clark there on the play. Another great camera angle that we just had. You could see how hard he contorted his body. He was running full speed left and then turns right, full speed. Like doesn't. There was no slowed step. He was so quick with his movements. Got into that hole and was able to pick up a couple yards.
Just 3 minutes left here in the first half. 3rd and 4 at the 5. Henson hands off to Clark. Clark right up the middle for a touchdown for the Valley View Spartans.
Right guard, Jared. There's a huge hole right there.
I think he ran through it before the hole even developed. With just his quick stutter speed. You're going to see it again right here. Well, there's already a huge hole for him to run right through. And then right there, look at the left guard come all the way over to the right side and seal that edge block. I believe that was number 76, maybe 78, Parker Milligan. You see here Phillips on to kick the extra point. It is up. It is no good, and that's going to leave the Spartans at 17, Oakwood nothing. 2:51 left to go here in the first half of our MVCC game of the week for week number 4, presented by Kettering Health. But Oakwood is just, I mean, coming in with a 2-1 record. This is definitely a head-scratching performance of what is going on that Lumberjack sideline, that they are not moving the ball like they have all season.
And not only are they not moving the ball, they're not getting the stops on defense. Something that we talked about at the beginning of the game was the fact that they had a lot of turnovers in their first 3 games, but they also forced a good amount of turnovers in the first 3 games, enabling them to stay in these games. So they haven't been able to do that tonight, and so the Spartans are starting to get open this game up.
And it, like I said on the last drive, I mean, you have Louder back on the sideline. That was your starter week 1. That, again, what point do you bring him back into the game? At least to throw something else at this Valley View defense. I mean, you can tell they're just teeing off on from what they have of film on Polacco and what he's going to do.
Do we know if he's healthy, Jared?
He did play in the game last week.
He did play last week? Okay.
Parker fields that one inside the 5. Parker getting a stutter step start. Parker cuts it back out. Parker cuts across field and is tackled across the 30 out to about the 32.
Caleb Musgrove there made the tackle. There's a good run back by Parker. Found a hole and maybe makes one more guy miss, and he might have been able to take this one back to the house. They will make 2 guys miss. A lot of arm tackles trying to be made there on that play. You're not going to bring guys down with easy arm tackles. You gotta use your whole body. You gotta wrap them up and be physical with them.
Now you hear that was the Spartan student section trying to taunt what little Oakwood student section actually made the drive from Oakwood to Valley View. As the run goes right up the middle there for number 2, Duvik, with a carry there, it looked like. Maybe gains 2 on the play. Polacco back in shotgun. Duvik to his right. Polacco back to pass. Duvik doesn't get the block, but Polacco escapes. He's running back, throws it across his body out of bounds, and that could have ended worse for the Lumberjacks.
I was about to say, Jared, I'll take that as a win Polacco was being harassed in the backfield.
You
The
see right
offensive
here,
line,
I mean,
they
Duvik does
were-
not pick up that block. And then lets 2 more people run right by him in the backfield.
Polacco just lucky to be able to get that thing away, not get a big hit.
And here it is, 3rd and 10, or 3rd and 8. And Valley View gets a stop here. They could get the ball back with 2 minutes and 2 timeouts. Polacco back to pass, throws it incomplete.
And that was over the head of the intended target, Keon Wright.
And
Another 3 and out.
do we want to take an over under how many plays it takes Valley View to score? I'll say
That would
within
be
5.
me, Jared.
I'll say 5.
Polacco 8.
All right. But I mean, this Valley View offensive line is just getting what they want. And with another low snap there for a punt, this one's a whole lot better than the last punt. That one bounces and goes all the way down inside the 30.
Runs down.
That's got to be the special teams coach right there that keeps jumping up and down for Valley View to our right.
Getting excited.
He's going to jump through the ceiling if he jumps back up on that table. But okay, the refs didn't move it. I was about to say the ball should be spotted where the Lumberjacks first touched it, which is at the 30. I was about the 30, and they put it out to the 32. A minute 52 left here. 2 timeouts for the Spartans. Henson, I mean, is on fire right now. Moving the ball well. Clark to his right. Henson back to pass. Gonna check down the receiver screen. Throws it to a wide open Spartan. He's at the 20, the 10, the 5, and into the end zone. I believe that is Ferguson.
Stidham, Jared, and he has had a huge game.
Look at the Juju Smith-Schuster shuffle there on the sideline. Stidham with a monstrous catch. And, oh my goodness, we were wrong. It was only 1 play.
What a beautiful throw. And I'll tell you what, man, Henson does a great job with his pump fake.
I for sure thought that was
his,
going to the check down.
That's for sure, Jared. He gets his entire body, his entire upper body into that pump fake, gets the entire defense fooled, and then Stidham is wide open, no one within 10 yards.
Phillips' kick is up and good, and now 24-0 lead. The Valley View Spartans with 1:40 left here in the first half. And if I'm Oakwood, I'm calling 3 straight running plays to try to just get this clock to halftime.
Yeah, try to get this thing to halftime, like you said. Hopefully, be able to draw something up at halftime, turn this thing around. This has not been pretty.
This score just shows that the Spartans, that this 1-2 record means nothing. I mean, their 2 losses on the season were to Marymount, Ross and Milton Union. Milton Union was a 4-point loss. Ross was a 4-point loss. So 2 losses within a single possession. You see the cheerleaders running with the Spartans flags here along the sideline, getting this home crowd pumped. And I've got to find someone with a stat sheet at halftime because I want to know, A, how many passing yards Henson's at, how many rushing yards Clark is at, and Stidham's average per catch. It's got to be through the roof. We're playing each other in fantasy, and I told you I played Stidham. I picked him up last second. And kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. Be 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Lumberjacks. Remind you, for you guys watching live on YouTube, we will be covering the band's performances at the half. You see Oakwood's band ready along the sideline there in the top portion of your screen. Flacco in shotgun. They're going to throw it to the far sideline, and that one is intercepted by number 27 of the Spartans. That is Hunter Piecki. You see here in the replay, 27 right. No, that's Stidham right there. Where is 27 even at? Oh, there he is on the sideline. Just comes off and
The man coverage on the play. He read that the entire way.
now Valley View gets the ball back with 1:30.
That was Calaco's first interception of the season, Jared. Not where you wanted it.
No, Valley View in full major plus territory right now. This is an insane first half for the Spartans on the offensive end.
Jared, if they're able to
Henson back to pass.
score another touchdown here.
Gonna roll to the right. Thought he was gonna throw it, but I think he saw he was right at the line, so he's just gonna take a 1-yard run.
Minute 17 left on the clock. Or make it a minute 18. And the Spartans are gonna have a chance to
Extend already a 24-0 lead.
start the running clock.
That only starts in the second half.
We're almost there.
I know. But yeah, it starts in the second half. A minute 18 left here. Valley View called a timeout.
3-yard pickup on the run by Henson.
Also, thank everyone who was take the time down here on the line when we found that. It was greatly appreciated.
Now here comes Valley View out of their timeout. 2nd and 7, a minute 18 left. Henson's going to roll to the left. Henson's going to launch it to the end zone, and it is overshot. That was intended to Clark, it looks like.
The Spartans have not been afraid to throw this one deep here in the first half, Jared. Taking plenty of shots, connecting on quite a few of them, too.
It's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 27-yard line. Here's going to go. Henson keeps it. I thought he really handed it off on the end around. It's going to be about 4th and about 2 on the play. It looks 4th and 4 actually, as we're under a minute left. A timeout still left for the Spartans. As Valley View looks confused. I don't know if they realize that the clock is ticking or not. Play clock's down to 19. And Valley View's going to keep the offense on the field. 37 seconds left and counting. Play clock's down to 10.
What's stopping it?
Timeout. I'd call the timeout. Play clock's at 2. And they finally take the timeout with 25.5 seconds left.
And now the kicking unit comes out for the Spartans. as it looks like they're going to kick the field goal. Caden Phillips going to come out, try and extend the lead. 25.5 seconds remaining here in the first half. And now Oakwood is going to take a timeout of their own. Looks like they're going to try and ice Phillips.
Getting their hand on here, decisions. You see it's a nice sit guard. Sunshine in the back of the program that provides food for the weekend food to our team. The program is supported by several of the local Birmingham churches. So when you're there for concessions, you've got something to sit on, we'll be grateful to take for it.
Now the kicking team is going to come back out. Phillips is ready for a second field goal attempt of the game. The snap, the hole, it's up, and it's good. No, ooh, no, they're going to say it's no good, because I had a poor angle. And say that one comes up. It's going to be just a hair to the right, I believe, of the uprights. So now Oakwood is going to have a chance with 20.1 seconds to go. With the ball on their own 25, they're going to have a chance to do something before this first half ends. The offense is going to come out. Polacco lines up in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the left, 3 to the right. And he's going to go with quarterback keeper. He's going to break a tackle. Oh, and he's going to get hit there at the end of the play. Big hit there. Looks like that was number 55. Make that 56, Zach Myers with the stop for the Spartans. And that is going to do it for the first half of our MVCC Game of the Week, Week 4. Sponsored by Kettering Health. I'm Andy Horton alongside Jared Bergstrom. We will be back for the second half. And don't forget, guys, we are covering the bands during halftime. So if you are wanting to watch that, stick around. Thanks, guys. We'll be back.
say rock and roll is dead, well, no one asked the Foo Fighters who continue to carry the torch for rock for the next generation. We invite you to get up and dance with the band and cheerleaders as we perform The Pretender. We close out our show tonight with a beautifully lucky tune from 2003. Here is Times Like These. Caballeros, introducing the Valley View High School Marching Band. The 2021 Spartan Marching Band is led onto the field by drum major Joseph Barnett. This evening's halftime performance will feature some hot Latin grooves with plenty of drive and sizzle. We open tonight's performance with El Cubanchero, a Latin classic featuring the drum line. Our second and third movements include Santana hits, Evil Ways, and Novas. We hope you enjoy this evening's halftime performance, Shades of Latin. City Best football team was ranked next part of the league. Next part on the return to the 25-yard line. Starting by number 8, Bryce Reed. First down, Oakwood. 25-yard line.
Yeah, that was number 6, Charlie Bocavalis. Nice, throwing it towards you here in our Kettering Health replay.
By the Oakwood offense, they haven't been able to get anything going. And here on another
There's a
play,
nice run. I believe that is also number 6, Bocavalis. Or no, that was number 12, Nate Clark.
good job by Clark keeping his legs turning. This seems like a much different Oakwood offense here in the first 2 plays, Jared. 2 first downs, or 1 first down, almost a second one. This is the start that the Lumberjacks wanted.
Polanco in the backfield. Fakes the handoff to Clark, throws it on a check down to Bocavalis, and he's tackled in the backfield for a big loss. It's going to be 3rd and about 4 here for the Lumberjacks. And if, depending on what you get up, this could be 4-down territory, or you're looking to almost put up the white flag with the just start this second half. Polanco's reception is incomplete as that hit jars the ball loose.
In and out of the hands of Wright. He struggled tonight. Gets up slow. He took a big hit. There on the play, number 58. Tyler Brock in on the stop. Knocked the ball away.
And Oakwood's keeping
that number 2, TJ Ferguson.
Oakwood's keeping their offense on the field. Play clock at 16.
Polanco
4th and
shouting
3.
out orders to his offensive line.
Polanco going to throw a quick out to Bocavalis, and it's incomplete, and he would have had the first down if he would have held on. Turnover on downs for the Spartan, or for the Lumberjacks, and Valley View gets excellent starting field position.
And Jared, it was a good start to the drive, but then they just stalled, and there's just nothing there for them on the last couple plays. Had a couple of missed catches, could have been easy completions, but instead, turnover on downs, giving the ball back to the Spartans inside the Lumberjacks' own 40.
Bocavalis, I mean, that was a little bit to the outside of him, but still could have been catchable. Henson back to pass. Henson's going to roll to the right, evades one tackler, lobs it down the middle of the field, and it is
Caught by Ferguson! Oh my goodness, Jared!
Ferguson walks into the end zone.
That was good defense on the play, but you know, that's why they tell you if you're a defensive back, you do not swat the ball up in the air, you swat it down, and that shows you just why the defender was not able to swat that thing down, and instead it turns out being a touchdown for Ferguson. What a huge swing. Good thing we didn't take over-unders for that drive, Jared. We would have gotten that one wrong, too.
Extra point is up and good for Phillips. That puts the score up 31-0.
And with less than 2 minutes ticked off the clock here in the second half, the Spartans have pushed the lead. They have started the running clock.
So running clock here now for the Lumberjacks. So the clock will keep running unless there is a timeout or change of possession or an official's timeout.
Keon Wright, Matt Carter beat. Receive kickoff. Kate Phillips, kickoff.
You see Phillips on to kick off here for the Spartans. Up 31-0, and the clock is rolling. This one is a low kick. Wright picks it up. No, that's Parker. They switch sides, and Parker is tackled immediately by number, well, the jersey says number 1. Let's see if we can get a side of his helmet. Number 34, Caleb Musgrove. That could be right. That is about Caleb's height, looking at the stat sheet.
Once again, puts a move on the defender, but the defender does not bite. And some good tackling by the Spartans.
Oakwood now. Polacco has the ball starting at the
18.
18. Not. Polacco looks like he's going to run it right up the middle.
And Velasco beats the ball.
And that was an awkward looking play as the quarterback keeper.
That's the second time we've saw that. It looks like it's a designed keep. Gain of about 4 on the play.
Three wide receivers to the top, one to the bottom. Slings that one, and
number 5,
Smith.
Kevin Smith, with a reception there.
That one was behind him. He actually drops that one.
You hear the student section for Valley View calling out Butterfinger.
Just a little bit behind him. This is something that Oakwood is not really used to. Polacco has not struggled like this so far this season. That one was a bad snap. Now Polacco is looking for some space. He's going to get away. He's going to throw that one downfield, and
it's hauled in.
That one was number 13.
Ben Maria.
Beautiful play by Polacco, picking the ball up off the turf, able to keep the play alive, able to throw the ball downfield, pick up a first down.
That is, I believe, the biggest play of the Lumberjacks all night.
Pick up of about 19, I believe.
And, yeah, like you said, that ball was on the ground. Polacco, did he hand it off there?
Yes.
Okay, then he handed it off. I believe that was number 12, Nate Clark.
And the front 7 of the Spartans has been spectacular, Garrett, all night.
Both sides of the ball.
Yes, both sides of the ball, not allowing anything on defense. There's been no rushing lanes, and on offense, they've been plowing massive holes through the Oakwood secondary.
Another ball, another snap on the ground, and there's going to be a stoppage. I think somebody called a timeout. Oh, his knee was on the ground when he picked it up. Let's see if we can get a replay of that one. Here we go on the Kettering Hill. It's going to be right as soon as he picks the ball up. Ball's down on the ground. Yep, right there. Heads up play by the ref to see that his knee was down.
It kind of looked like to me.
It looked like it hit the lineman.
I was going to say.
The insider part of his leg when he hiked it.
Exactly.
Let's see if they can get this one off clean. There's a good one. Polacco airing it out in the middle of the field. It is Incomplete.
Almost pulled in by Keon Wright. But
And you see the frustration comes. He slams his hands down on the turf.
not able to haul that one in. That was Austin
Valentini, or Valenti, I believe. We'll go with that.
Big collision in the air right there.
You see Wright with the frustration. Slams his hands down.
Now Palacco back to punt again. Done very well in this department so far. That one's another good punt.
Here's a return to the sideline at the 40, the 30.
And he's got an escort.
Then he's going to be tackled inside the 20 as he ran into his own blockers and couldn't get out. But I believe, was that Stidham or Ferguson? I couldn't tell because of the camouflage.
Trying to think that
I think it's been Clark.
Clark has had his fingerprints all over this game.
I want to highlight some of our game of the week next week will be the Springboro Panthers and the Fairmont Firebirds down at Careflight Field. Springboro, last I saw, was beating Beaver Creek at the half 34-9, and Fairmont just kicked a 37-yard field goal, I believe it said on Twitter. They're down 14-10 to Northmont late in the third quarter.
That's going to be a fun one to call, Gary. This Fairmont team has been very good this season. They've been surprising a lot of their fans and their opponents with how much they've thrown the ball this season. You know, in Firebird country, those are known as trick plays, and they've really been drawing them up really good so far this season. Interesting to watch them again next week.
Kind of wondering why the refs are huddled.
I said there wasn't injury.
Oh, yeah, yes, I hear the applause now and look down and saw.
That's Cade Zonin. So hope he's going to be okay. We've been calling
Oakwood,
his name a lot tonight.
Oakwood shining defensive star. Already probably at least a dozen tackles, I would assume. Valley View first and 10 inside the red zone at the 17. Clark gets the carry, bounces off one tackler, cuts up the middle, spin moves inside the 10 down to about the 6-yard line. And just like that, Valley View is in goal-to-go situation here.
At the end of that play, it took two Lumberjacks to bring him down. You see the toughness there on the play. Nate Clark tried to bring him down, and Jake Clark said, "No, sir," throws him off.
That arm tackles do not bring the runner down.
Back in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking to run.
Henson gets to the edge.
And now he's
cuts it back
run.
in, and he's in the end zone for a Spartan touchdown. Well, though, hold on. The fumble ball came out.
Look at the Kettering Health replay. You see Henson is, he doesn't really know what to do with it. He doesn't have an open man. He's looking. It's a good job by the quarterback. Keep his eyes downfield the whole time. And then last second, decides, you know what? I'm gonna try and take this one in. Cuts upfield. Able to get inside the 1-yard line. And it looks like the ball comes out at the end after forward
progress is stopped. Henson hands off. Clark up the middle for an easy touchdown, his second of the game. And Valley View just opened up that salt and pouring it on the wounds here for the Lumberjacks. Now up 37 with the extra point coming by Cade Phillips.
And we really can't talk enough about this offensive line of
Well, we're going to be back here in 2 weeks. against the Brookville Blue Devils in the Valley View Spartans. That one, I mean, Brookville was 3-0 coming into tonight's game, so that's going to be an interesting showdown.
Yeah, and this is a Spartans team that really, Jared, should not be 1-2.
I was looking at the overall records. If Valley View holds on to win, which, I mean, we're going to say that they have, everybody except for Middletown Madison is going to be 500 or better in the SWBL after tonight.
Have a very competitive Southwestern Buckeye League right now, Jared. We'd love to see it.
But please be aware, if you are going next week to the Madison away game, you're going to be going down to Franklin instead. Madison will still be the home team.
That extra point was good by Phillips. I don't know if we said that talking about the other scores.
J.J. Wilson, Max Parker deep. The Lumberjacks.
Caden Phillips back out to take it away yet again. He's had a busy night tonight.
Phillips gets a hold of this one. And this one's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
He's got a cannon up a leg, man.
First down, the Lumberjacks 20.
That one field goal was a little bit wide left at the end of the first half. But other than that, he's missed one extra point tonight, and that's it.
And like you said, it was wide left. It had plenty of distance on it.
Yeah. Here we go. Oakwood gets the ball back. 3:16 left, and once they set the ball, it'll start counting the clock down again. When we made our schedule to begin the year, we planned on having nice competitive games, and so far each week we have had the running clock in each game.
Yeah, competitiveness has not been something that we've seen a lot of, but we've seen some great offensive line and defensive line play in every single game so far.
Polacco going deep along the far sideline,
and he's
hauled in.
Keon Wright wide open. What a throw by Polacco. We've been waiting to see that one all night.
Keon Wright was an 80-yard touchdown catch and run.
And he's a real speedster, Jared. You got to make sure you got your eyes on him the entire way downfield. If not, he's going to burn you. He was 2 or 3 steps behind all of the defenders on that play. Lumberjacks are going to go for two wide receivers to each side. Clark in the backfield.
Wright gonna take the Wildcat, and he is gonna get snuffed out by the line of the Spartans, and that's gonna be stalled about 2 yards short. So now a 32-point lead, 38-6 lead the Spartans. That's what I love about the student section. They point out the obvious.
No one cares, they say.
They've been ruthless on this Oakwood crowd. I mean,
You can tell
it's not a
like
packed sideline for the Lumberjacks, as you can see there across the field. I mean, it is a piece of a drive for coming from Oakwood to here, but still, I mean, a lot of Oakwood fans did make the trip, but this Valley View student section is letting them have it all night.
They have been relentless, Jared.
You see there, I guess Oakwood has brought in some more students at halftime because that did not see their student section that full in the first half. They must have got lost in traffic. Maybe they went to the high school. And here's a squib kick, and it is.
That is recovered. Great job by the Spartans.
Hell, they didn't even have to touch it. It didn't go 10 yards.
Good awareness.
It was a nice attempt for the Lumberjacks to try to get that. I mean, down 32, I would take the chance.
What have you got to lose?
No, you're just practicing for if you need it on later on in the season. 2:28 left here to go in the third quarter. And the clock should be winding. Henson hands off to Clark. Clark cuts it to the outside. He's at the 40. Has the hole, cuts it back in, upfield. He's inside the 30, down to about the 27, it looks like, maybe the 20.
Before he's brought down by 3 Lumberjacks. Ethan Stone, Nate Clark, along with Max Parker.
And Clark, once he just gets to once he cuts, it's almost like he's gained 2 or 3 more yards on the cut.
When he gets to the edge, Jared, and it was a really good block there. That one was number 19, Troy Hypes. Very good block there on the edge. Like you said, once he gets out to the edge, man, he is so effective. He does a very good job of reading where the defenders are and does a good job of making them miss.
I think Valley View's going to call a timeout here. And with how Valley View's offense is working, I mean, maybe you think, they're exercising some frustration out of the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, Jared, and this is a team that we really didn't expect coming into this game to be 1-2. We're talking to a Valley View insider kind of at halftime, and he let us know that there was a couple of really bad breaks for the Spartans here early in the season. Had a ball go off of JT Ferguson's hands that was intercepted, got taken down the field on the next drive for a game-winning touchdown in the first week of the season. And then the game last week.
Upper Arlington? Valley View's game was, sorry, I thought we were talking about our last week was against Ross.
Yeah, and against Ross, there's a couple of plays came down to the wire, and Ross was just able to make the plays that Valley View was not late in the game.
No, penalties called back a touchdown late, too, in that game.
3 different touchdowns.
Clark cuts a big hole here. Clark inside the 20, down to about the 14. Valley View with another big run there by Clark, and I can't wait to see the stat sheet posted online after this.
Yeah, Jared, Cade Henson was the leading passer in the Southwestern Buckeye League before this game, and tonight I'm sure he just increased his lead when it comes to passing yards. He's been spectacular.
Looking at next week for these two opponents.
Up the middle to Clark. He's so hard to bring down. Looked like he was going to break another couple tackles.
Oakwood is going to go back home, and they're going to play Monroe at home. And then Valley View goes on the road. They will play Middletown Madison. And for those Valley View fans watching, that one will be at Franklin High School. So if you are going to the Valley View game next week, that will be at Franklin High School against Middletown Madison as they are redoing their field. So y'all don't go down to Middletown Madison. That's about an extra 15, 20-minute drive past Franklin, so we don't want you to get lost and have to do a U-turn. And then, like we've said, our game next week will be the Fairmont Firebirds at the Springboro Panthers. We'll see how it comes back after Beaver Creek, or Springboro is looking to avenge some of their frustrations against Beaver Creek tonight. And last I saw, Fairmont was down 14-10 against Northmont in the third quarter. So definitely a good one there. Springboro came into the game tonight was 1-2, or no, 1-1, sorry, and Fairmont was 3-0.
I'm excited to see after the game, Jared, that Fairmont score. Hopefully, maybe they can get to 4-0. It's been a long time since we've seen that.
Shush, if we got some Fairmont fans watching and they lose, they're going to blame it on you, hopefully. I'm gonna get emails and texts from parents like, "Don't bring you along next week." Yeah, last I see, it was still 21-16. I see as the last update. No time, but it's in the fourth quarter. So
Coming down to the wire.
see if I can find it anywhere online. 11:49 and counting left here.
2nd and 8. Ball on the 12. Henson's going to keep that.
Lobs it into the middle of the end zone, or into the middle of the field, and it is hauled in for a touchdown.
Number 17, Grade 2, takes the ball in the end zone.
That one was by number 17, Cade Sears, I believe the PA announcer said.
Conversion for the touchdown, 12-yard touchdown pass for the first.
And that was a really good job there by Henson with the play action. Able to fool most of the defense there, and Sears was wide open.
You can see Phillips looking to add to his impressive kicking stats tonight. Snap is whole good, kick is up and is good. And the Spartans lead now 45-6 over the Oakwood Lumberjacks. And this Brookville Valley View game in 2 weeks is looking like it could be a back and forth game to see which one is going to get the stop.
And like you said, Jared, we've had a lot of...
We'll be better with the numbers next time because I assume Valley View won't be wearing this camo uniform.
That's for sure. Yeah, we've had a lot of blowouts here in the early season. Hopefully when we're back here in 2 weeks, not a blowout. Love to see a high-scoring back and forth game.
I think Oakwood's going to have their hands full with Monroe next week. Monroe, their running back 2 weeks ago, or no, last week, he had like 430-some yards on a 30-some carries. An incredible stat line.
After you get your butt kicked like this, that's last
not
thing
what you want to do
hear.
against a running team, and they got film on this Valley View rush that just tore this defense apart. And I mean, heads up, I mean, this is excellent coaching here by this first-year head coach here, first season. This was a late in the season hire. I don't think he took the job until end of January, I think. So not much, no off-season workouts in this winter. So coming on late as Phillips boots this one along the sideline, and it's fielded by, I believe that's right.
Parker.
That's Parker. Parker breaks one tackle.
Another good kick by Phillips and another good return by Parker. They will find some room up the sideline, but not quite able to break it.
I mean, Oakwood's kick return is, I mean, their averaging starting field position is out across the 25 almost. I mean, the last handful have been out across the 30.
Yeah, Jared, Parker and Wright have shined in the kick return game. And really the only spot that the Lumberjacks have shined tonight.
Polacco trying to air it out along the sideline, intended to Maria, but just a little bit out too far in front of him.
1:10 left here in the fourth quarter. Ball on the 37.
Polanco back, or no, that's Louderback. Louderback thrown on the run to the sideline. Hauled in, first down, out of bounds.
And that is Keon Wright on the play.
You know, now that we think about it, I wonder if that was Louderback that was in there that threw the pass on to the touchdown on their last drive, because I just assumed it was Polanco.
I'm pretty sure it was Polanco. Keon able to find some space and get out of bounds.
I mean, this is going to be interesting. I mean, next week, what do you do if you're the Lumberjacks at running or at quarterback? Louderback back to pass, throwing it, hauled in. That is
Thrown high, but that's Kevin Smith on the reception.
And I mean, you see Louderback comes in, he's 2 for 2 real quick. I mean, maybe they should have made this change earlier. .40 left and counting. Louderback pass, middle of the field, and it is dropped. That is dropped by the receiver. I cannot see who that was intended to.
And Jared, that is one of those instances where
You were running with the ball upfield before you had it caught.
exactly he was looking upfield before he secured it.
And I mean, that was a
He
bullet
paid.
from Louderback. And he, I mean, you see here in the replay, he went to pump it and he brought it down, and then mid pump, he decided to throw it. But yeah, you got to haul that one in if you're, I believe, was that Smith? That was Bolkovich. And that one might have been tipped, it looked like.
Over the middle, looks like that was intended for Maria.
Seven and a half minutes left and counting. Louderback trying to get some points on the board for the Lumberjacks. There's a bullet out to the outside, and that one ricocheted up off of.
The hands of Kevin Smith.
That one looked like it hit him in the shoulder pad, it looked like. You see here in the replay. Oh, that was a fourth down play. I did not even notice that.
That one just goes right through his hands. He's looking at the defender before he secured the ball. Once again, gotta have better awareness.
It's going to be first down now for Valley View. 7:20 and counting. And you would assume that you might see the backup quarterback come in here, but
I believe that's what we're seeing, Jared.
if it is,
I do not see Caden Henson on the field.
backup quarterback will be number 15, Logan Bolden, for Valley View.
Timeout Spartans.
So Henson's going to get the rest of the night off. And
He's been spectacular tonight, Jared. He's made a ton of great reads
I mean,
in the run game and in the pass.
we'll see. We'll look at the stat sheet and determine the player of the game later. But I mean, it's either going to be Henson or probably Clark, the running back for Valley View. I mean, both of them putting on a performance. I'd like to see the stats before we give it to either one.
Well, you can't forget that JT Ferguson also was very good tonight,
I haven't really called his name in the second half.
along with Stidham.
It's been a lot
also
of-
had a big catch, a couple big catches.
It's been a lot of Clark running the ball here in the second half, but when you're up 24-0 at the half, you can.
They handed that one to the running back. Looks like that was number 13, Landon Malara.
Malara, yeah, with a carry there. Haven't called his name. Maybe we did on defensive end. He plays linebacker, but is that Henson back out there?
No, that
That was number 5. It looked like.
That was 15.
15. Okay, I didn't see what that one's hiding the camo.
It's that camo, man.
I know. I can't see it. Handoff here again to Landon Malara.
Stopped by Ben Maria.
Right at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 8 here for the Spartans. And, I mean, next week in our pregame, we get to start talking about playoff positioning. I mean, 4 weeks in now, 4 weeks into the season, so
Almost to the midway point,
we'll
Jared.
still start talking about that. I think next week actually is the first week that preseason or rankings come out for the state, so who are we going to see in the top of each division around the state?
And looks like that was a busted play
Ooh,
there.
he got hit right at the end there by Maria, or that's Parker coming and smacked.
You look at the Kettering Health replay. This from the start looks like a busted play. Bolden goes to fake the handoff, and his running back runs away from him.
Oh, they're calling it a chop block. Let's see. Oh, right there.
They're gonna call that one on number 13, Landon Malara.
I mean, granted, he didn't get into the chop block way all the way, but you can't attack a player's legs like that down low when they're running away from you.
And yeah, Jared, I think he was really just trying to seal that block, but he was never able to really get a hold of the defender to really lay the block on him. A lot of pre-snap movement. As the student sections are having a chant war right now.
Maybe if we can get our cameras to focus on the student sections. Oakwood starting to make some noise, but I mean, this Valley View student section is just drowning them out.
And they're telling them, you might be making some noise, but still not loud enough because we cannot hear you.
Valley View is chanting SAT score at Oakwood for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, we probably did that when we were in the student sections too. That was too long ago for us. That was a long time ago for us.
That was a long time ago, my friend.
There's a high booming punt. Have we seen Valley View punted all tonight?
The first possession of the
First
game.
possession, and I was okay.
But it's been about 3 hours since that one happened, Jared. Make it 2 hours.
You see how quickly the game goes on that accelerated clock. We got 3:17 left here.
I think the second half's taken about 40 minutes.
And I just got a text from Fairmont. Drew Baker runs it in from about 15 yards out to take the lead with 1:50 left here left there in the game. That'll put them up 22-21 with the extra point coming. It'll be really interesting to see if they go for 2, making a field goal game. But 1:54 left. I mean, you saw what Tom Brady did with 1:15 left last night. So we'll see if Northmont can make a comeback.
Do you get $5 for that Tom Brady reference?
I'm gonna have to talk to our director. Our director Richard told me to make a Brady reference, so I got it in there. Only took 90% of the way to get in there, but we'll see.
As Louder back in at quarterback, he's gonna pick up a couple yards on the play. He's stepped back in the pocket. There's nowhere to throw, so he had to make something out of nothing. Ended up picking up 4. 2.5 minutes left here on the game clock. As Oakwood student section is chanting, "It's all right, it's okay, you will work for us someday."
Oh my goodness, this is back.
Talk about chippy. I love it, Jared.
Oh, if you're down 45-6, you got to have something to say. Now I kind of want to wait and see what Valley View's rebuttal is. That is going for the juggernaut. I mean, that is going for the jugular. And you're down 45-6.
Louderback steps up in the pocket.
Evades one tackle there. Throws it middle of the field there. That's number 23. Was that 23 or 25?
25. Chris Knapp.
Cameron Parker. Are you looking at the wrong roster again?
Yes.
I've done that so many times. It's fine. And Fairmont went for 2 and got it, so that'll put them up 3 with 1:50 left in the game. And now Valley View comes back with the "I believe that we just won." Ever since the World Cup in 2012, that chant has become a popular one between student sections. Louderback hit as he throws.
Understandably so, Jared. It's fun to be a part of.
40 seconds left and counting here, and this one's just going to be a few ticks away. Oakwood doesn't have to hike it if they don't want to. Oh, they called a timeout. That's why the play clock was all the way up at 57. But, I mean, huge shout out to our crew tonight. Students from the media class at Kettering Fairmont, going all the way with us this season, along with Kettering Health jumping on board just a couple weeks before the season started. Come out and be our primary sponsor. Thank you to Kettering Health. I've got to email them and work on getting maybe some taglines in.
What about right down here, Jared? We got Kettering Health. Be your best.
All right, we'll go with that one for now. But, I mean, the rest of the camera crew, production staff in the truck, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make a successful live production of a high school football game go on. Follow us on social media, and maybe next week we can get some.
Unloads that one, and it's just a little too far.
Get some video of behind the scenes on getting stuff set up.
J.J. Wilson Jr. was the target.
It's like 4 J's. Oakwood calls another timeout with 18 seconds left. And this one all but over, so, I mean, Valley View avenges some frustrations in the last 2 weeks, comes out and just pedal to the metal from the second possession on. Valley View's offense and defensive lines have just went full force at this Oakwood Lumberjacks squad and just manhandled this game from the second possession on. And really, I mean, you would not have thought they were 1-2 looking at this season, or looking at just the record coming in. As we said, Oakwood will go back home and play Monroe, and Valley View will go on the road to play Middletown Madison at Franklin High School.
Those should both be tough games next week, Jared. Should be interesting games.
Low snap for Louderback. Throws it to the outside. It's incomplete. That one will do it. In our MVCC game of the week for week number 4, Valley View wins in dominating fashion, 45-6. And that is the 6th win in a row in this rivalry for the Valley View Spartans. As they roll on, advance to 2-2. Oakwood will fall to 2-2. Now Oakwood called a timeout left with 1 second. So we're on suspense for one more play. Oakwood's out of timeout, so they can't stop it anymore. So we will definitely be done after this one.
Barring a penalty.
They better decline it. But again, everybody who watched live on our YouTube, thank you for taking time out on your Friday night to watch some high school football. Louderback going to roll to the right. Last play of the game. Louderback throws it. It is complete inside the 20 to...
Although I do not believe that's going to count. I think he ran past the line of scrimmage before
Andy,
he delivered that.
don't tell the refs. They'll throw the flag for that.
They did throw the flag for that
Oh,
one.
my.
It's an offensive
But
flag,
it's an offensive flag, so they will end it. So there you go. Valley View wins 45-6 over their division rival Oakwood Lumberjacks. Thank you all for taking time to watch it. Jared Bergstrom, Andy Horton, and the rest of the Miami Valley Communications crew. We will see you next week live on YouTube as the Springboro Panthers will host the Fairmont Firebirds.
Ball camera 1.
Quick slant out. And another incomplete pass intended there to number 2, Jake Kenner.
Yeah, if you're the Eagles, you have to get up on this defensive play and force the quarterback to make an error.
Excellent. You got the ball in. Nicely done. 3-3. Go to 3.
By Bell. Bell breaks 2 tackles.
That's all you 3.
Bell's
Nicely
out.
done. Oh,
Bell
he should have
picked up
stayed
a
there.
flag.
Keep balling them back 3.